The queen expected the human to ask for land, rank, money, or vengeance. Instead, he stood before her throne with medals on his torn jacket and asked where his dead were allowed to sleep. Queen Aravel had summoned Sergeant Tomas Ward after the siege of Karun Station. When the Eastern Hive broke through the shield ring and the royal heirs were trapped in the lower docks, Tomas had led 32 humans through coolant tunnels and carried the queen's youngest son out with one working arm. Only 7 humans survived. The Empire celebrated them loudly. The capital chanted Tomas's name. Nobles described him as proof that humans, though crude, could become magnificent under royal purpose. Tomas only cared for the list of names when he entered the throne room. The applause sounded like rain on coffins. Aravel rose in gold armor, her voice warm enough to make ministers weep. Sergeant Ward, by blood and courage, I offer you citizenship of the Celestin Empire, pension, title, and a place among defenders. The court erupted. Tomas did not move. The queen's smile faltered. Is the offer insufficient? No, Majesty, he said. It is generous, then accept. He looked at the polished floor. I would like burial rites instead. The translator stumbled. Aravel sat slowly clarify. My dead are in cargo hold 9, he said. 25 bodies. 7 partials, 3 empty suits. Your station law classifies non-citizen soldiers as foreign contractors. Contractors cannot be buried in imperial soil. Your clerks offered incineration and return shipment. A minister coughed. This is standard statute. Tomas turned toward him. Standard statute did not hold the lower docks. The throne room learned grief does not bow to gold. Aravel's expression tightened. Sergeant, citizenship would grant you the right to request burial afterward. For me, yes. For them. A silence followed. Tomas removed a small data tag. Corporal Mina Alvarez sealed the east hatch from the wrong side. She bought your son for minutes. She has no family left. Only us. Under your law, she is cargo. He placed another tag beside it. Private Olu Kent, 19, sang when scared. Dragged 3 royal guards through coolant up to his waist. Died asking if the prince was breathing. Lieutenant Sarah Noon lied about the retreat path. Told us it was clear. Stayed behind to make it true, one by one. The tag struck the marble. Clicks louder than applause. The queen's youngest son, Prince Male, stood behind her. Pale and alive because of those names. Mother, he whispered. She raised a hand. Not now, Tomas heard. And something tired moved through his face. That is what everyone says to the dead, Majesty. Not now. No rebel speech had ever wounded the court so cleanly. The High Minister stepped forward. Sergeant, no disrespect is intended. But law protects cultural sanctity. Tomas nodded. Whose sanctity? The minister blinked. Because on Karun, my people bled into your soil, breathed your smoke, carried your children, and died, if that did not make the ground know them. I do not understand what soil is for. Aravel looked at him for a long moment. You refuse citizenship. No, Majesty. I refuse to step over them to receive it. The court shifted, uneasy, because that was not insult. It was a standard being held up to measure them. Prince Male came down the steps. The boy stopped before Tomas and looked at the tags. I remember the singing one. He said, Olu. Tomas swallowed. Yes, Highness. He told me to keep breathing because queens dislike ghosts in the family. A sound broke from Tomas. Laughter and pain. Male turned to his mother. I was breathing because he was dying, and suddenly the matter was no longer legal. It was personal. The queen descended from the throne. Picked up Mina Alvarez's tag, then Olu Kent's, then Sarah Noan's. Reading each name as if testing whether the Empire could survive speaking them. Our law did not foresee this, she said. Tomas answered. Laws rarely foresee people. Majesty, people keep arriving anyway. Aravel looked toward the High Minister. Can the statute be suspended? He hesitated. For citizens, yes. For non-citizen contractors. Only by sovereign decree, with council objection. Then let the council object in writing. She said. The chamber rippled. She faced Tomas. Your dead will be buried in the defender's field at Karun. With names and rights, Their graves will be guarded under imperial protection. Tomas closed his eyes. The queen continued, and citizenship remains yours. He opened them not before theirs. Aravel understood that the human was not bargaining upward. He refused to leave anyone below. Then theirs first, she said. That was the day the Empire learned humans do not count honor from the living backward, but from the dead forward. The burial took place beneath a repaired shield dome. Rain falling against the blue light above. 7 surviving humans stood beside 25 coffins, 7 smaller cases, and 3 empty suits. Karun citizens came by the thousands because carrying Olu's name, Queen Aravel read the decree herself, by sovereign will. Those who defend our lives are not strangers in death. The old law cracked there, quietly, permanently. Tomas spoke last, not as a hero, but as the man who had memorized final words. Mina said, "Seal it." Olu said, "Sing louder." Sarah said, "Keep moving." Jay said, "Tell my wife I tried." Ben said, "It is cold." Priya said, "Do not waste this." Ward said nothing, because I am still here. And I do not know how to forgive that yet. No one applauded. That was mercy, after the final coffin lowered. Aravel approached him with a citizenship band. Plain silver now, not ceremonial gold. They are recorded as defenders, she said, and as citizens by sacrifice. Tomas touched the band, but did not take it yet. Can law do that? It can now. He looked across the graves, then at the prince standing among them. Then I accept, he said, but not as payment. As what? As a promise to visit years later. The Defenders' Field became the only place in the Empire where every oath began with a list of names. Queen Aravel's reign was remembered for many victories, but students remembered the burial decree most. The moment a human refused glory until the dead were given ground, and an empire learned that belonging did not begin with papers, crowns, or applause. Sometimes it began with a grave wide enough to say, "You are not cargo anymore."